Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk about too many of us are standing in the doorway of our potential, stuck between where we are and where we could be. On one side, we see possibility, greatness, and growth. On the other side, comfort, fear, and mediocrity. And let me tell you something, greatness will never come to someone who refuses to shut the door on mediocrity. Closing the door is not just about leaving behind the things that no longer serve you. It's about saying yes to the life you deserve. It's about creating focus, building discipline, and embracing the responsibility of your dreams. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to justify why we aren't where we want to be. They feel comforting in the moment, like a soft pillow to rest on. But in reality, they are chains that keep us bound to the same place. Excuses let us off the hook when things get hard, but they also rob us of the opportunity to grow, learn, and achieve. The truth is, there will always be a reason to delay, to wait, or to stop. Life is never perfect, and challenges will always show up. But the question isn't about whether obstacles exist. It's about whether you'll let them define you or drive you. Every time you make an excuse, excuses are sneaky too. They often disguise themselves as reasons or even logic. I don't have enough time. I wasn't born into the right circumstances. I don't have the skills or resources. And these sound legitimate, but they're just stories. Because if someone else with less time, fewer resources, or more challenges has managed to achieve what you're striving for, then it's not about the circumstances. It's about the choices. Here's the thing, excuses will always be there waiting to take the wheel the moment you let them. But excuses can't survive in the presence of action. The moment you decide to take ownership of your life, excuses lose their power. When you take responsibility for where you are, you also gain the power to change where you're going. That's the magic. When you stop blaming time, people, or circumstances, you realize you were holding the keys all along. It's time to stop waiting for the perfect moment or ideal conditions. It's time to stop pointing fingers and start taking steps. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. So you don't need everything to be perfect. You just need to take action. No more blaming, no more justifying, no more excuses. Close the door on them and watch what happens when you finally step into your potential. But here's the good news. Fear only has power over you if you let it. The moment you decide to face it, the illusion begins to crumble. Fear is natural. It's hardwired into us for survival. It once kept us safe from predators and danger. But in today's world, it often shows up when we step outside our comfort zones. Fear isn't trying to harm you. It's trying to protect you. The problem is it doesn't know the difference between real threats and growth opportunities. It whispers, stay where it's safe, don't risk it. But staying safe is often the very thing holding you back. Growth doesn't come from staying in the same place. It comes from walking into the unknown with courage. The most successful people in the world aren't fearless. They feel fear just like everyone else, but they've learned how to move forward anyway. They've realized that fear isn't a stop sign. Ask yourself this, how much has fear already cost you? How many opportunities have you let slip by because you were afraid to fail or afraid of what others might think? Fear doesn't just steal moments, it steals potential. It keeps you small when you were meant to be extraordinary. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to keep going in spite of it. And every time you do, fear loses its grip. What used to terrify you will one day become easy. What once felt impossible will soon feel natural. The key is to take that first step. Stop overthinking it. Stop waiting for fear to go away. It won't. Instead, push forward with the fear still there and watch as it fades into the background. Close the door to fear, and you open the door to freedom. Because on the other side of fear is everything you've ever wanted. Confidence, success, fulfillment, and the life you've been dreaming of. Fear is a shadow. It can't hurt you unless you let it. They influence how you think, how you act, and ultimately who you become. But here's the hard truth. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay. Some people bring out the best in you. They encourage, support, and challenge you to grow. Others, however, drain your energy, pull you down, and keep you stuck in the same place. These are toxic people, and if you want to reach your full potential, you need to close the door to them. For a moment, take a breath. Toxic people come in many forms. They might be the ones who constantly criticize no matter what you do. They might be the ones who belittle your dreams or laugh at your goals, telling you why you can't instead of why you can. Some are subtle. They undermine your confidence with small, cutting remarks disguised as jokes. Whatever form they take, toxic people have one thing in common: they hold you back. One of the most dangerous things about toxic relationships is how easy it is to stay in them. You might think, I've known this person for so long, or their family, or even maybe it's not that bad. But let me tell you something, your future depends on the people you allow into your life. If someone is constantly draining your energy, making you doubt yourself, or pulling you off track, it's not just bad, it's a barrier to your growth. Sometimes closing the door to toxic people means having difficult conversations. Other times it means distancing yourself slowly and quietly. And yes, it might even mean walking away completely. This isn't about being harsh or cruel. It's about protecting your energy and your peace. You only get one life, and it's far too short to spend it surrounded by people who make you feel small, unworthy, or stuck. It's important to understand that. And let me be clear, letting go doesn't mean you don't care about these people. It just means you care enough about yourself to prioritize your well-being. You can love someone and still recognize that they're not healthy for you. You can wish them well from a distance while choosing to protect your own mental and emotional health. Here's the incredible thing. When you surround yourself with the right people, the ones who inspire you, challenge you, and support you, your life changes in ways you can't imagine. So take a moment to evaluate your relationships. Who in your life encourages you? Who drains you? Who inspires you to dream bigger? And who keeps you stuck in the same place? Be honest with yourself. Closing the door to toxic people isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. Remember, you are the average of the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Close the door to toxicity and open the door to growth, happiness, and a life surrounded by people who truly want the best for you. Distractions are everywhere. We live in a world designed to pull our attention in 1,000 different directions at once. Notifications ping on our phones, emails pile up, social media feeds scroll endlessly, and the next shiny object is always just around the corner. These distractions may seem harmless, even entertaining, but over time they rob you of one of your most valuable resources, your focus. And without focus, progress becomes almost impossible. Here's the thing about distractions. They're sneaky. They don't show up waving red flags or announcing, "I'm here to waste your time." Instead, they disguise themselves as small, innocent interruptions. You tell yourself, "I'll just check my phone for a minute," or "I'll watch one episode to relax." But before you know it, an hour has passed, a day has passed, sometimes even years pass while we allow distractions to control us instead of us controlling them. The cost of distractions isn't just in lost time, it's in lost momentum. Every time you let a distraction pull you away from your goals, it's like hitting the brakes on your journey. Then, when you try to refocus, you have to spend even more energy just to get back up to speed. Imagine how much further ahead you could be if you eliminated those stops and started driving straight toward your destination. And here's the truth. The things that distract us often don't even matter. Closing the door to distractions doesn't mean you can't enjoy life or take breaks. It's not about working every second of every day. So, how do you close the door to distractions? Start by identifying your biggest time wasters. Is it your phone, certain apps, mindless internet browsing? Once you know your triggers, create boundaries, turn off notifications. Set specific times to check your emails or social media. Create a workspace free from distractions and dedicate blocks of time to deep, focused work. And most importantly, remind yourself why you're doing it. Every time you choose focus over distraction, you're choosing your dreams over temporary gratification. The reality is this: success requires focus, and focus requires discipline. It's about saying no to the things that don't align with your goals so you can say yes to the things that do. It's about valuing your time so much that you refuse to waste it on anything that doesn't move you closer to the life you want. Think about the most successful people you admire. Here's the incredible thing: when you start eliminating distractions, you gain clarity, you see your path more clearly, you make faster progress, you feel a deeper sense of purpose because your time and energy are being invested in things that truly matter. So, close the door to distractions, be ruthless about guarding your focus, because when you do, you'll discover what's possible when all your energy is channeled in the right direction. The world is noisy, but your dreams are worth the silence it takes to hear your purpose. The past is a powerful teacher, but it's not a place to live. Too often we carry the weight of old mistakes, regrets, and missed opportunities, dragging them behind us like a heavy chain. We replay moments we can't change, hold on to people who are no longer part of our journey, or cling to old versions of ourselves that no longer serve us. But here's the truth: you can't move forward if you're constantly looking back. At some point, you have to close the door to the past and step boldly into your future. The past is over. No matter how much you analyze it, mourned it, or wish it were different, it can't be rewritten. What happened, happened. What didn't happen, didn't happen. And that's okay, because life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. But progress can't happen if you're stuck reliving yesterday's story. The more energy you spend on the past, the less you have to build your present and shape your future. Let's be clear: closing the door to the past doesn't mean ignoring it or pretending it didn't happen. It means learning from it and then letting it go. It's about taking the lessons without carrying the pain. Every mistake you've made, every setback you've faced, every heartbreak you've endured, they've all taught you something. They've shaped you into the person you are today. But once the lesson is learned, it's time to move on. Sometimes we hold on to the past because it's familiar. Even when it's painful, it feels safer than the unknown of the future. But staying stuck in the past is like trying to drive a car while staring at the rearview mirror. You can glance back for perspective, but if you focus on it too long, you'll crash. Your life is happening now, in the present, and the future is waiting for you to create it. Another way the past holds us back is through guilt or shame. Maybe you've made mistakes, hurt someone, or failed in a way that feels unforgivable. But here's the thing: you are not your mistakes. You are not defined by your worst moments. Forgive yourself. Give yourself permission to be human. The only way to grow is to let go of the chains of guilt and commit to doing better moving forward. And it's not just the bad parts of the past we need to let go of. Sometimes it's the good parts too. Maybe you've been holding on to a time when everything seemed perfect, wishing you could go back. But life is meant to evolve. Clinging to the good old days can prevent you from creating even better days ahead. Don't let nostalgia blind you to the opportunities waiting for you now. Closing the door to the past also means letting go of old identities. Maybe you've been telling yourself, "I'm not good at this," or "I've always been this way." But just because something was true in the past doesn't mean it has to define your future. You have the power to rewrite your story. You are not who you were 5 years ago, or even 5 minutes ago. You are who you choose to become, starting right now. When you close the door to the past, you free yourself. You free yourself from regret, from guilt, from the weight of old wounds. You make room for growth, for possibility, for the new version of you that's waiting to emerge. The past is part of your journey, but it doesn't have to be the final destination. Comfort is one of the greatest traps in life. It feels good, it feels safe, it's familiar. But comfort, while it may offer temporary ease, is the enemy of growth. The moment you settle for comfort, you stop reaching, you stop striving, and you stop becoming the person you're capable of being. If you want to achieve something extraordinary, if you want to live a life of purpose, growth, and impact, you must close the door to comfort. Comfort is deceptive because it feels like success. You work hard to achieve a certain level of stability, and once you get there, it's tempting to coast. You tell yourself, I've done enough, or I don't need to push any further. But here's the problem. The moment you stop challenging yourself, you stop growing. And in life, there's no such thing as staying still. You're either moving forward or falling behind. Comfort keeps you stuck. And while it feels like security, it's actually stagnation in disguise. Think about it. Every breakthrough you've ever had, every big step forward in your life came from stepping outside your comfort zone. Growth only happens when you stretch yourself, when you do the things that scare you or challenge you. It's in the moments of discomfort, struggle, and uncertainty that you discover how strong and capable you really are. Comfort doesn't teach you that. Comfort doesn't push you to become more. It only asks you to stay the same. But staying in your comfort zone comes with a cost. It robs you of your potential. It keeps you from chasing bigger dreams, taking risks, and exploring new possibilities. Over time, comfort turns into complacency, and complacency leads to regret. The regret of wondering what could have been if only you dared to step outside the familiar. The truth is, comfort is the easy path, but the easy path rarely leads to anything remarkable. It's the hard paths, the ones filled with challenges and uncertainty, that lead to greatness. The people who achieve extraordinary things, who live fulfilling and impactful lives, are the ones who are willing to get uncomfortable. They're willing to take risks, face failure, and keep going even when it's hard. Closing the door to comfort doesn't mean you can't enjoy life or take moments to rest. It's about refusing to settle. It's about choosing growth over ease every single day. It means saying, I'm not going to let fear of discomfort hold me back. Because discomfort isn't the enemy. It's a sign that you're growing. Every time you feel uncomfortable, it's an opportunity to expand, to push your limits, and to become a better version of yourself. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't have to mean giant leaps. It can start with small steps. Trying something new, having a difficult conversation, or setting a bigger goal than you think you can achieve. The key is to keep stretching yourself, little by little, until what once felt uncomfortable becomes second nature. And then you stretch again. Here's the beauty of it. The more you challenge yourself, the more confidence you build. You start to realize that you can handle discomfort, that you can face challenges and come out stronger. You stop fearing the unknown because you've proven to yourself that you can thrive in it. As we stand here today, I want you to remember this. Every great life, every remarkable story, every extraordinary achievement begins with a decision to close the door. To excuses, to fear, to distractions, to toxic influences, to the weight of the past, and to the false comfort of staying the same. It's not an easy decision, but it's the most important one you'll ever make. Because the moment you close those doors, you open new ones. You open the door to courage, to focus, to growth, to freedom, and to the life you've always dreamed of. This is your moment to choose. This is your moment to step forward, to embrace your potential, and to start living the life you were meant to live. So, I challenge you, right here, right now, make the decision. Close the doors that no longer serve you, and step boldly into your future. The road ahead may not always be easy, but I promise you it will be worth it. Because the best version of you is waiting. Your dreams are waiting. Your future is waiting. All you have to do is take that first step. Close the door and walk through to your destiny. Thank you.